Right in the middle of North County, San Diego sits a lakeside community that most people never talk about, but over 5,000 people live here and most never want to leave. Today we're taking you through Lake San Marcos, and we're gonna go through the neighborhoods, the lake, the lifestyle, and whether this could be the spot for you if you're thinking about moving to San Diego.
So now we're walking through one of the kind of traditional Lake San Marcos neighborhoods. As you can see behind me, 90% single story housing here in Lake San Marcos. Built in the 60s, so kind of that ranch style, original kind of floor plans you'll find here. And if this isn't for you, if you're looking for bigger homes, bigger footprints, we have a ton of other neighborhoods here in San Marcos and North County that we can point you in that right direction. So you've got to get in touch with us if you're looking about moving here to San Diego. Also, just in this neighborhood, you've got either golf course living, kind of the more traditional neighborhoods where you have a big bit of a backyard, or you have lakefront too. So not a ton of lakefront, but there are a handful that come up every now and then. Actually, I think there's a couple on the market right now, but there are a ton that are back to either the full-size golf course, which is right here behind us here, or the executive course, which is on the other side of the lake. So like I mentioned, this is an older neighborhood built in the 60s. You're gonna find mostly 3-2s, like 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Every now and then you'll find a 4th bedroom here and there. Sometimes you'll also find a sunroom off the back. We see that a bunch, but if you are looking for like a big backyard, and like if you have big dogs or pets that need a fence, a lot of these yards can't be fully fenced. They have the kind of the shorter fences. So just something to keep in mind. We do see a ton of dogs walking around here. So somehow people make it work. Just something to think about. Also, kind of that older style on the outside, there's CC&Rs that kind of keep this neighborhood looking like it does and has for a lot of years. So there's an architectural committee that kind of reinforces that. But we've seen a lot of, not a lot, but a bunch of turnover recently where we're seeing full remodels. There's one happening at the corner here. We drove past a handful of them from the lake when we got here. So a bunch of turnover. And then insides are super dialed in, even if the outsides kind of look a little dated.
So where exactly is Lake San Marcos? We're on the western portion of San Marcos. We're like right on the border of Carlsbad. So if you take Palomar Airport, like, I don't know, 2 lights, you're in Carlsbad. Not coastal, but you're also not super far inland. So like weather-wise, it's pretty mild. You get a little bit of that mix where like sometimes if you're thinking San Marcos, and we mentioned in our other videos, you're like, you know, San Marcos gets hot. Well, it does, but certain portions, like as you go further towards the east, towards like Escondido, that's where it gets a lot hot. So you live in here, you're somewhat, not coastal, but you're probably about 25-ish minutes down to the coast, maybe even 20. If you just shoot down Palomar Airport, it's a main road right here. You can just shoot out there and end up at the Carlsbad beaches, right? If you want to shoot north a little bit, you can go to the village, because right up here, as far as amenities in Lake San Marcos, we're going to show you the lake later, and Cassie's going to get into like what that all entails and you know what you can do down there. But right down there too, there's an awesome restaurant. It's called Amalfi. Really good pizza, nice Italian spot. We'll show you some clips inside. It's beautiful in there, overlooking the lake. There's a little bar down below. So it's probably one of the only, let's say, restaurants besides Brickman over at the other golf course over here. So you have the lake, right? You also have the 2 golf courses. So right behind us, we have the big golf course, and then the golf course we grew up playing, which is the executive course. I think it's called the Exec now, actually, they renamed it, but super fun courses. So it's not necessarily a golf course community, but there are golf courses within the community, if that makes sense. So most people aren't moving here to be like, I just want to play golf all the time, but it is awesome to have right here. And they're super fun courses, and they just, over the past few years, there's been some turnover, there's been some change. So there's been a little bit of, I guess, improvement of these courses as well. Like I said, the Exec is my favorite. If you guys are ever coming out, you want to hit up some golf courses, hit us up. We'll bring you to the Exec. It's like a 3-hour course. It's awesome. But other than that, like right across the road, kind of right out of the community, across San Marcos Boulevard, you do have a big shopping center, grocery stores, you know, salons, all that kind of stuff over there, but it's not right within the community. And so like within Lake San Marcos, you're not going to find that, but it's a quick little jump to get over to where you need to be. One thing about San Marcos, there's not a downtown. So if you're looking for like date nights, this and that, you know, you're not going to find it right here. But like I said, Carlsbad's a good option. You can shoot down to Encinitas is a good option. There's a few other spots actually within Carlsbad, a little bit closer, that's a good option. So as San Marcos has been growing over these past few years, you're gonna see more and more places pop up a little bit further towards Twin Oaks, a little bit further, like, I mean, it's almost walking distance from here. but you're gonna see more and more of that pop up, but that's like a few years in the making.
So right now we're at one of the main amenities of Lake San Marcos. And I say amenity, I mean, it's a lake, but it's not your traditional lake. If you're coming from kind of the Midwest or Northwest where there's a lot of lakes you can swim in, you don't want to go in the water here. Definitely not the cleanest lake on the planet, but there are some really cool things you can do. You can do stand-up paddleboarding, kayaking. We've rented the pontoon boats right here behind us before. Really fun, go out and fish a little bit, go out all the way to the dam. This lake is definitely bigger than it looks when you're just standing here at the side here, but it's really cool just for those things. There's a gondola ride you can do. There's fresh rose petals on it just a couple minutes ago when we saw it. So cool spot to be able to like get out on the lake, but it's not for getting wet. Like that's the stand-up paddleboard kind of throws me a little bit. I don't want to fall in this lake. But some of the other amenities too, there's a company that owns the golf course, the lake house, which is the hotel right here, and some of the other amenities here in Lake San Marcos that you can pay a small annual fee to be a part of, where you have access to tennis courts, pools, pickleball courts, some of the other amenities here in Lake San Marcos. And then one other amenity also right behind us here is a boat dock area where owners here can rent a slip to park their boats. We had a couple of buddies that have had boats here in the past. Just really cool to be able to come down here any day and jump on your boat and take a little stroll around the lake. There's also a green belt area right up here too. There's not a ton of parks in Lake San Marcos, so if you do have kids, this is a good spot to just come and chill, have a picnic or something. Right now it's set up for Winter Wonderland, which is an annual event here during the holidays. They have igloos you can rent. They have kind of a cool light dome that you see everybody's pictures on Instagram. Santa comes special times, there's food, all that stuff. So definitely worth checking out if you're here during the winter. So like I mentioned, a lot of the housing is gonna be this single story, what we're driving through right now. But up on the hills here, you do have a whole ton of custom homes, way larger, bigger lots, some really, really cool spots overlooking the lake. Really, really gorgeous views up there. I thought we were heading in that direction, but we're actually heading below them. But there's also some townhomes as you're over closer to the executive course. There's some condo options, townhouses, kind of like that duplex style. So if you're looking for a little bit more affordable, there are some options on the other side of the course. So also within Lake San Marcos, there is a really cool sense of community, whether you're out playing golf a bunch or some of the community events that are put on. There's golf cart parades. This is a golf cart friendly community, so you will see a bunch of them riding around. There's also, I don't know if we'll drive past any here, but there are some homes that still have the golf cart garage, which is pretty cool, like a secondary garage off of your 2-car, but just a really cool sense of community. Chris is gonna jump in the studio right now and show you what some of these houses in Lake San Marcos look like.
So before we show you a house, let me give you a quick overview of where we are. We're in the western portion of San Marcos. The rest of San Marcos kind of goes over this way. And like I said, you're right on the border of Carlsbad, which is right over here, and just north of another community called San Alejo Hills, right down to the south. So it's not a huge area, but as we're going through, we cruised through some of these streets over here. We were at the Lake House Resort right over here. There's some surrounding communities too that do feed into here. Like if you don't want to live right directly within the Lake San Marcos neighborhood, you could hop into a few of these other ones. We had some clients back here who were able to still use these amenities and whatnot. So anyways, here is the lake going down the middle, and then off to the east of Lake San Marcos. This is the Links. This is the larger of the 2 golf courses. And then down over here in the corner is the executive course right in the center. That's where the lake house is. That is where Amalfi is right here. The big lawn that we were showing you. This is where like the holiday wonderland is going on. So yeah, anyways, that's a quick little overview from the coast. You're looking about straight shot, like I said, down Palomar Airport Road right here, and it drops you off at like North Ponto. You go to South Carlsbad State Beach. So there's a few different areas over here that you could hit up for sure as straight shots. We're leaving, I have it set for like Saturday at 9 a.m. So obviously times can definitely vary, but 16 to 30 minutes, not too bad of a drive right down Palomar. You'd pass, once you get down here, Legoland, you have another Crossings golf course. There's a Windmill Food Hall right over here as well. So you have that within striking distance as well. And now there's houses of all different conditions, but here's one that we particularly mentioned as far as somebody coming in. They came in over the summer, they flipped it, put in new everything. You'll see as we're going through here, but brand new kitchen. They put in just a lot of work going into here, which, like I said, this is one of the areas that we've seen a lot. This is sold for 1.41. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath, just over 2,000 square foot. This home was built in 1965. But new cabinets, new kitchen, new appliances, You can see the front, not too much going on. I mean, they cleaned it up a little bit, put some sod in the front yard here, potentially did the windows. I can't tell if those are brand new, but maybe some paint and whatnot. Going into there, going back into the house as we're cruising around. Back here is one of the homes. I'll show you when we get to the backyard, but it's along the golf course right there. And now when people redo them, you'll find different styles. Like these guys put these are probably like faux wood beams up in the top. So going through, you'll see the bathrooms are real nice too. Big windows looking out back, but I'll show you another little thing when we get to the backyard over there. Going through a little bit more, primary bedroom, new everything in here as well. Another bedroom there, redid this bathroom as well. Then you got the other bedroom. So here is a little side yards up here. They kind of vary. As you go up the hill a little bit, you get a little bit bigger yards, but you're not gonna find anything too large. I mean, decent size here, you can see. But here's kind of that like little back fence we're talking about. So golf course, backyard. Most homes kind of right around the golf course are gonna look like this. That's why I mentioned if you got pets. We did see a bunch of people walking around with pets or with dogs when we were there today, but just have to figure that part of it out. So anyways, this one's right on the golf course right here. You can see all these cruising around this golf course and big hill back here. So here's some of the houses up on the hill that we were talking about, a little more custom up here, just kind of tucked away. Not really, you know, it's not a main road or anything. Well, none of these are really main roads, but as we go through right on the golf course, here is the lake house. Here's overview, here's the bridge where you'll see us go there in a little bit. Nice overview of the lake as well. Here is the HOA or some of the amenities if you join that portion that Cassie was talking about, where you get access to the tennis courts, the pickleball courts. There's a pool here. So you do have an option to do that as well. There's Amalfi, awesome restaurant. So if you guys need some good pizza, go check that out. But anyways, that's like a typical home. Let's go back out to Lake San Marcos and show you a little bit more.
So one of the main amenities here is the golf courses. So this is the links at the lake house, which is the full-size course for any of you golf aficionados. Chris said nerds, but aficionado seems better. It is a 6,400 par 71 course. Great course. We've played this a bunch of times. They have a lot of cool tournaments. They've got, it's just really pretty. A lot of water, a lot of hazards, just a cool course. A lot of houses to dodge. That's the only negative for me is I do find myself losing quite a bit of balls here. Wide into the yards. But also you do have the exec, which is the executive course. Super easy course. Probably takes 2.5, 3 hours on normal days to hit. And this is kind of what people do that live here. They jump in their golf cart, they come down here, they eat at the Brickman Tavern right here, they hit some golf balls at the range, practice their short game right back behind us here. So this is a huge part of the community here in Lake San Marcos.
One other thing about Lake San Marcos is that it is technically not the city of San Marcos. It's within the county of San Diego, but all the amenities, school districts, all that kind of stuff, San Marcos, obviously you're living in San Marcos, so you're going to all the stuff right around here too. But there is some good, there's some bad, but if you guys are thinking about moving here, or maybe you want some other options of places, maybe you want this sort of location, but you want a different style home or something, hit us up. Let's start that conversation. We'd love to earn your business and help you make the move right here to San Diego.